Imagine an environment where every child's uniqueness is celebrated, where academics and co-scholastic activities are perfectly balanced. This is DPS Dwarka Expressway. Here is a spirit that moves differently. We believe that a happy school environment is essential for overall development. In our classrooms, students dive deep into the curriculum that challenges their intellect and pushes them to excel. In our libraries, they find a haven of knowledge where every book is a doorway to new ideas, histories, and perspectives. The smart classes with their cutting-edge technology makes learning more interactive, bringing abstract concepts to life and ensuring that every student can visualize and understand even the most challenging topics. But academic rigor is not just about understanding what is taught. It is about application, and that's where our laboratories come into play. Here, students don't just read about chemical reactions, they witness them. They don't just learn about the principle of physics, they apply them. They don't just memorize algorithms, they code them into functioning programs. At our school, co-curricular activities are not an afterthought. They are a fundamental part of our educational philosophy. Sports, for example, teach discipline, teamwork, and perseverance. Whether it's swimming, skating, basketball, football, taekwondo, or cricket, each sport cultivates physical fitness, mental resilience, thereby preparing our students to face challenges head-on. But we believe that these two words, academics and co-curricular, need not be separate. In fact, the most effective education happens when they intersect, when creativity and academic rigor are not in opposition but in harmony. This is where integrated learning comes in. We have created spaces like our sensory garden where students can engage with all their senses, exploring the natural world in a way which is both grounding and inspiring. Or consider our sand play where creativity and learning come together in a hands-on, experiential manner, allowing students to express themselves and solve problems in innovative ways. Our well-being department plays a crucial role in understanding this integrated approach. Through circle sessions and individual counseling, we ensure that our students' emotional and mental well-being is prioritized, creating a safe space for them to explore their feelings, build resilience, and develop a deeper understanding of themselves and their peers. And then there's Prakriti, our sustainability initiative, where students learn to connect with the environment, applying their knowledge of science and social science in real-world contexts. Here, they are not just students, they are change makers, learning how to create a sustainable future for themselves and for generations to come. This integrated approach to learning does more than just educate. Yes, it transforms. It asks the question, does school kill creativity? And the answer is a resounding no. At our school, creativity is woven into the fabric of every subject, every lesson, and every activity. It is not something that exists only in art rooms or on stage. It is present in the way we approach problem solving in mathematics, the way we conduct experiments in science, and in the way we write and debate in language classes. Yes, you are right. Creativity for us is not an add-on, it is an essential. Let us find it out together.
A very happy morning to all of you. After the great success of Samvaad 2023, we are yet back again with Samvaad 2.0, a platform for open dialogue with the community. Today, we are about to embark a journey of thought, reflection, discussion, centered around a theme that stirs both curiosity and concern. That is, do schools kill creativity? And aligning the todays with tomorrow's unknown. In a world that's constantly evolving, where tomorrow's challenges are unknown, it is essential to pause and reflect on our educational practices today as they are shaping the minds of tomorrow. Are we nurturing creativity? Are we shifting it in the pursuit of academic rigor? Well, at Delhi Public School Dwarka Expressway, we believe the power of dialogue, in the sharing of ideas and in the importance of fostering a learning environment that encourages creativity and ensuring holistic development. Today, through a series of enlightening conversations, we will explore the delicate balance between curriculum and creativity, between structure and freedom, and between knowledge and imagination. To set the stage, it is only fitting that we begin by hearing our visionary leader whose passion and commitment has shaped the ethos of this institution. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Mr. Nitin Sahani, our Pro Vice Chairman. Mr. Sahani's vision is deeply rooted in the belief that happiness is central to this organization, that all the stakeholders, be it parents, teachers or learners, are happy and evolving. In conversation with Mr. Sahani is our very own Director of Academics, Ms. Sarika Rahul Chopra. Sarika ma'am is the driving force behind our academic progress, ensuring that our curriculum is not only meeting the educational standards, but it inspires curiosity, creativity, thinking and lifelong learning.
Sir, there is a thin line between vision and mission. Could you please help our viewers understand what is vision, what is mission?
Though there are a lot of books available in the market about vision and mission, as per our understanding, vision is to begin anything with end in mind. You have to start anything with end in mind. Why we are doing what we are doing is very important. So there is a very beautiful saying that if a man knows not which harbor he seeks, then any wind is the right wind. So vision takes your boat to the desired harbor. Now the mission part. Mission is basically the how of the vision. How we are going to achieve what we want to achieve. In modern times it is said it's called strategy.
Right, sir.
Third and the most overlooked aspect of vision and mission is the standpoint. It's called the power of standpoint. It's basically a monitoring system through which you can assess yourself, your organization, your school, that are we on the right track or not. Whatever you're doing on day-to-day basis, is it aligned to your goal, and are you moving closer to your goal or are you drifting away from that goal? So to make you understand, to make the viewers understand, at a country level and at a personal level, there are core values.
So sir, right now we've discussed it in a broader spectrum. If you could just help all of us to understand what is the vision of DPS Dwarka Expressway.
The core desire of management of DPS Dwarka Expressway is to create leaders, not to create followers. This country needs a lot of good leaders. See, if you have to lift the pyramid, if you lift the pyramid from the bottom will only get lifted. If you lift the pyramid from the top, the entire pyramid gets lifted.
Sir, you just spoke about leadership. Please help me understand what is leadership according to you.
If you're working as a solo player, your success is your success. When you're working like a leader, then your team's success is your success. Second thing, we are working on the Panch Kosha of the students. So there are 5 elements: body, mind, intellect, emotion and spirit. I'll repeat it again.
Right.
Body,
Yes, sir.
mind, intellect, emotion and spirit. The curriculum in DPS Dwarka Expressway is designed keeping in mind these 5 aspects of human psychology.
Oh, great. Thank you so much, sir. You know, you told us in a broader spectrum what is vision and mission. Then you've told us what is a vision of DPS Dwarka Expressway. And I totally believe, sir, after listening to you, our viewers will understand that we are on a right track. Having happy human beings. I think that is what we are looking at. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for those insightful reflections. Your vision for aligning our school's core values with the ever-evolving needs of education truly resonates with all of us. As we continue on our journey, it becomes crucial to explore how we can further translate this vision and actionable strategies with our school. To explore these questions further, I would now like to invite Mr. Manish Pandey to Samvaad 2.0. Mr. Pandey, with his experience in teacher training and development, will share expertise on how schools can create an environment where the teachers and the students can thrive in their own creativity.
So, what do you believe are the most critical skills required by the modern teachers in today's classrooms?
Interesting question, first of all, and thank you for asking that question. Yuvika, we'll have to start from something which is before the skills for every teacher, just not teacher, for any individual per se, but since today we are focusing on teachers, so let's take a step back. Do you make paintings?
I do, yes.
You draw?
Yeah, I sketch.
You sketch, right? There are so many people. I also draw paintings, but you know, I can draw a hut, I can draw a tree, I can draw mountains on back, I can paint it green, yellow, blue, and that's my painting. Yours must be greater. You're a design student. I got to know of that, right? So think of it this way, that you can paint, I can paint. Your teachers can also draw, paint, right? Your parents can also do that. We're all competent artists, right? So everyone has the competency of drawing and painting. But whose painting is it that's selling in the market? Whose drawing is it that people are putting their NFTs on? You've heard of NFTs? Right. Yeah? So they're exchanging crypto. Paintings are selling in millions of dollars. And you know who's? 8th standard kids. They're selling their paintings online. I consider that to be skill. And a person who's skillful is automatically competent. And a person who's competent, he or she needs to upskill more and more, learn more and more of their art to basically become skillful. So first thing is the realization that, okay, there is a need of skill. And that's where skill development starts. Now, let's take step 2. For a teacher in the modern 21st century, if you see, I'm sure you would have heard from your parents about the inculcation of computers in their time, yeah? 1980s, we saw, let's say, computer screens coming inside industries, not even schools. Very premium schools of, let's say, our country would have introduced computers there. And then after some time, what happened? We saw a transition towards LEDs. Then you saw a transition towards LEDs inside your classrooms also for teachers. And then 2019-20, something very, very wrong happened with humanity per se. What was it?
COVID-19.
COVID, right? And do you see what happened to a life of a student or a teacher after that period? How much of realizations came to our life about what is it that I need to know more of so that I can basically sustain, let's just not say my profession or my job, but be a part of this modern society as a whole. So when you ask this question, what is a critical teaching skill for a teacher or let's say a professional educator, it starts from realization. And then in this era, we are sitting in 2024, it's approximately a quarter of a century done, yeah? And we will be moving towards a time wherein into COVID-19, we saw the release of all the online and the virtual sessions coming in. And right now, I'm sure you are using artificial intelligence a lot. You're using ChatGPT for your homeworks. Are you using for design also?
Yeah, I've tried to. You can make nice pictures using those, so that's always very helpful.
You're saying you can make nice pictures. Imagine a timeline wherein students will be making their own videos. They'll be making their own directorial videos, the kind of cinema that can be generated from these tools. They're coming in. And what is GPT? What is ChatGPT, AI? This is culmination of, let's say, World Wide Web in one place. That's what it is doing to us. It's giving us answers in a more humane format. But imagine a situation in 3, 4, 5 years of time, wherein, let's say, today you're able to write a question and get a very natural response from a computing device, from a system. In the coming years, if I am able to, the computer system is talk to you, just like I am speaking like a normal human being to you right now, a computer system is able to do that with natural language processing ability. Then what happens to teachers? You saw what Kerala government did. They introduced the robot inside the school. The robot can speak or teach and train on 3 languages. Yeah. Iris, you heard of it? No?
I haven't.
Okay. So Kerala government did that. Yeah. There are institutions in Japan which are already utilizing a lot of technology inside the classroom. So for 21st century educator, they are experts in their understanding of curriculum. They're experts in their understanding of pedagogy. But all they have to now learn and imbibe for themselves is how they are integrating curriculum with their pedagogy and with technology. Pedagogy, what is pedagogy? You understand that? No, I'll just give you a brief of it so that it's clear for all the parents also who are watching this or going to watch this. Pedagogy is the art and science of teaching. Let's say you're working in a company, you're an expert in data science, you're an expert in machine learning, or you're an expert in, let's say, general management. So you have your own specialists area. Teachers who are inside the classrooms, they have to be specialists of their art also. So if I say, let's say, why do you come to a school? That's because there's a specialist teacher who's there, who knows her job, who knows her work, who knows how to handle a classroom made up of such brilliant students like Yuvika and Anirudh. So they have to handle and teach you also, right? You guys ask questions, and your questions are dangerous questions. For that, we teachers need to upskill ourselves in pedagogy, which is the science of teaching, the science of managing the classroom. And at that point in time, standing in the year of 2024, we got to integrate technology a lot so that the students are able to reciprocate. Let's say if I am not able to talk to you about technology, will you relate with me?
No.
Why?
Because in today's world, it's just so integrated into our lives, especially as students, that
Absolutely.
it would be more relatable.
Right? And so now for teachers, it's about one, curriculum, integration with pedagogy and technology. Second is about engagement inside the classroom. I'll give you a report. You've heard of World Economic Forum?
Yes.
World Economic Forum, 4 months back, they released a report saying artificial intelligence will not replace teachers. A lot of teachers, by the way, were afraid when they saw, oh my God, I'll have to learn so much. But AI is not going to replace teachers. But they also say, the report also says, that if a teacher does not leverages artificial intelligence for herself, she will be replaced by a teacher who is doing that. So for an educator, it's very important that once she has integrated and learned about all the new softwares, applications, gamification models that she can bring inside her classroom, at the same time, he will have to go out and create an environment which is very conducive to learning, which is where student engagement comes into the picture. Imagine you are going into a classroom and your teacher is just using a chalk and board. Would you learn from her?
No.
But she engages you in an activity or theatrical, and you're so much involved with her. That happens, right? Yes. So that's about engagement. Third thing, since you focused entirely on skills, so I'm just speaking of the skills. Third skill set, which I think will be very important for any educator, is strong focus on ethics and values. That's because with information, you're on Instagram?
Yeah.
Your mom is on Instagram, dad is on Instagram?
Yeah, my mom.
Yeah, we are all using Instagram these days, Facebook, Twitter, all of these applications, social media. What is it doing to you?
I think it's just allowing us to consume more content.
You're consuming a lot of content, so you're becoming very informative, by the way. Yes. You know that something is happening in Paris right now. Yes. Right? Olympics is going on. You open Instagram, you have reports coming in, and there are a lot of people who are watching some other form of content. So the choice of content is moving, it's varying, but at the same time, the information that is flowing in 2024 versus the information that used to flow in 1984 was different. So at this point in time, for teachers especially, let's imagine my time. I did not know when I was young that there is a superstar that's called as Amitabh Bachchan, whose house is in Mumbai, and this is a particular name of the house, or let's say Shah Rukh Khan. He is living in Mumbai in this particular area, and this is the name of his house. But ask a 12th standard kid who's a Shah Rukh fan, he knows Shah Rukh lives in Mannat and that's in Bandra Bandstand. Where is this information coming from? Fans are outside on the boundary walls. So at that point in time, the kind of information that's coming into us in different formats, in diversified formats is immense, a lot. So the real content that you're watching, or your mom would be watching, or your teacher would be watching, or the auto wala outside would be watching, would be the same. What do we do then? So we are not preparing for today, we are preparing for the future. We are preparing for 2075. Your teachers won't be there in 2075, maybe you'd be there. Yeah? Maybe the coming generations would be there. We are preparing for them. So when information comes from various places, it tends to make us very sublime with how we practice morality in the current world. And when you are not ethical, when you don't have values, the society breaks. The whole fragment of the society breaks. And technology has the power of breaking the society. So for an educator who's understood how she can culminate technology in her own art of teaching, for a teacher who's an expert and who can create an engagement atmosphere inside the classroom, at the same time for her it's very important in 21st century to have strong understanding of how to imbibe ethics and value in their children, so that tomorrow when they have to deal with artificial general intelligence or when you have to deal with super intelligence, how are you going to face that world, that society? So 3 values, 3 skill areas, skill heads I have told you. Under these skill heads there are various sub-skills, so we have to study a lot. So my request, since you asked this question, is also to the teachers that yes, apart from knowing the fact that you have to take in all of these skills, you got to understand how to scientifically apply it inside the classroom. And once you're scientifically applying, things are logical, things are sincere, and you see a lot of results, which is, let's say, the creation of a happy school, a happy classroom. And I think your Mr. Sahni, the head of your school, and also your ma'am, Dr. Naina Kapoor, she's also doing that, and they have imbibed a lot of such values to the core of your learning and teaching process. Do you know that? Absolutely. You know that? You're aware, right? I was never aware when I was in school, what is my teacher's next action step going to be, right? So brilliant efforts are already in place, already going on. And in the coming timelines, you would see that all of these efforts, especially this podcast, let's say you asking me this question, me answering about the skill sets, teachers trying to understand the science behind education, how to apply it, this will culminate into a happy school. Absolutely. So yeah.
Yes. Thank you so much. That was very insightful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Manish, for the insightful discussion. Well, I have a question for all the viewers today. That is creativity a byproduct of education, or should this be fostered in the schools like any other skills such as literacy? What I understand is that children today are fearful of making mistakes, and that is why their originality is somewhere lag behind. What we need to cultivate is our opinions and our understanding that mistakes are okay, and we must make it in order to make something original. To shed light on a very crucial topic, we now have amongst us Ms. Anandita Anand, a seasoned counseling psychologist with over 10 years of experience in child psychology and developmental psychology. Here, she would be answering a question about how parent and child relationship can be a little less fearful when they talk about academics, scholastic and co-scholastic abilities of a child's life. Over to you, Anandita.
Since you've been in the industry for so long, do you think academics kills the connection between parents and their children?
Kills is a very strong word, I think, but I can definitely say this, that it does create a fearful connection between the parent and the child, right? So let's put this word aside, the kills, but at least let's talk about there's a lot of fear. For example, let's speak from the parents' perspective first. And since I see so many parents who come into therapy, bring their children into therapy, and they have certain basic, I think all across my clients, this is one basic, that one, ye padhta kyun nahi hai? Right? Right? Second, ये 6 घंटे क्यों नहीं पढ़ता, 1 घंटे में कैसे पढ़ाई हो जाती है? थर्ड, ये घूम घूम के पढ़ाई क्या होती है? राइट, ये हमें समझ ही नहीं आता, ये आप बोलो मैं सुन लेता हूँ पढ़ाई क्या होती है, राइट. एंड फोर्थ, you know कि तेरे नंबर नहीं आ रहे हैं, right? You know that we're putting money into education. You know that this is important. Why are you on your phone all the time? Why are you not keeping it aside? Why are you not studying? So I think these are certain, issues that parents come with, and they need me to address it with their child. Now, my fun thought is, why are they not addressing it with their child, or where is that barrier? And that's when I understand that when I speak to parents, I think all of these questions come from one fear, that, oh, what if my child doesn't do well academically, right? And by doing well academically means getting high marks, which I think I would like to tell all the parents, which I also tell all the parents, that you need to redefine it for yourself. That doing well in life and doing well academically, this doing well should not be signified by the number of marks your child is getting, right? And marks do not signify intelligence. It signifies who has a better retention and expression capacity. And that one thing cannot, just define, oh, ye intelligent hai. So I remember when I used to go to my parent-teacher meetings with my father, he would tell me, iske kitne marks aate hain? I said 90. ये इंटेलिजेंट है? And I would just be like, मैं मतलब अब तक तो मैं सोची थी मैं भी इंटेलिजेंट हूँ, मतलब if I get 88 that means मैं इंटेलिजेंट नहीं हूँ. So I think it's been generationally taught that marks high ही वो है. Fun fact now, we should also understand that सबका पढ़ने का तरीका अलग है. Maybe I can produce the same result by studying 1 hour because my retention is different, right? So second, for example, a lot of speaking of parents, IAS, CA पढ़ रहे हैं बच्चे या JEE देना है तो वो भी आते हैं, and there is a mindset कि 8 घंटे से कम में तो तुम क्रैक ही नहीं कर पाओगे. And then I ask, किसने बोला ये? Who has set ये 8 घंटे ही पढ़ना है आपको? Like who is defining number of hours to achieve success? Maybe those few specimens who came and told this to you, but then every person is different. So the point I'm trying to make is, parents need to understand that they can relax a bit because your child is already intelligent, and we do not need to constantly look at marks to define that, oh, is the child doing fine? One. Second, it is very important, I think, for parents to understand, and as a therapist and a psychologist, I can assure them that आपका बच्चा कुछ कर लेगा. डर क्या है? इतनी लड़ाई है किस बात की? तू करेगा क्या?
Parents do need to understand.
तू क्या करेगा? तूने करना क्या है? इससे क्या होगा? So, for example, I had this client and the father was like, ये क्या vlog बनाती रहती है? ये क्या YouTube कोई profession है? So I think then I told the parent that, YouTube profession है, and YouTube is highly like super monetizing, an amazing profession, because if your child is at an early stage showing an interest towards it, and if they are making healthy, safe, nice content and they're expressing themselves there, that's going to be like a start of the career right now. I think so. The third issue with where this fear comes from is lack of knowledge कि अब career options बहुत diversify हो गए हैं, मतलब बहुत ही ज़्यादा diversify हो गए हैं. तो अगर आप बच्चों को हम लेकर जाते हैं ना career counselor के पास, parents should equally go to also understand that there are so many career options. Being a gamer is also a career option. Do you know EA Sports is a very nice company who makes FIFA. They hire these gamers to test the new game and pay them lakhs of money. Like, and that's a profession, why not? So companies who make chairs hire gamers to check chairs are nice or not. Highly monetized. So there is no set कि life में क्या करेगा. आपने बच्चा बढ़िया बनाया है, resources लगाए हैं, तो अपनी परवरिश पे भरोसा रखो कि कुछ कर लेगा. इससे बस मेरा understanding और support चाहिए, right? So I think because that fear is there so much in the parents and that constant questioning, for example, and I think if the parents who will listen to this will also agree that आप घर आए, आपने बैग रखा, what's the first thing you ask? What's the first thing your dad asks?
My dad asks, what did you do in school? What did you learn today?
Do you, when your dad walks in, do you ask him, how much money did you make today? No, it's because that's not the only thing you think he's made for. How was your day? What happened? Was it a good day? और आज क्या खाया? क्या कितने और सवाल हैं, बट क्योंकि academic इतना तुम एक student हो, that is true, but एक ही काम है तुम्हारा is not true, which is also I think you feel disconnected sometimes कि कुछ और नहीं पूछते.
Yeah, because parents are too focused on academics.
again, because fear. Not that they want the child to be disconnected, not that they want कि कौन parents सुबह उठ के सोचता है आज शाम को बच्चे से relationship खराब कर लेता हूँ. Nobody, right? And this is their way of just showing that, oh, we care, but maybe they're not equipped, and maybe because nobody is also telling them how they can be more approachable to you, what can they do, you know, to be connected to their child. So I think that fear driven parenting is creating a disconnect. So that, and now from the child's perspective, what is creating a disconnect between the child and the parent? Again, ये जो एक constant question है आज क्या किया and all of that. So kids have also started thinking that I am only supposed to study. So if I talk about anything else, dad is going to scold me or mom's going to scold me. So I think there is a need that we start talking about a lot of things in the house to the child, with the child, other than just पढ़ाई में क्या किया, ट्यूशन में क्या हुआ, कितने मार्क्स आए, उसके कितने मार्क्स आए. So one is that. Second, there is this beautiful, dreadful, sad reality, which is exam anxiety is on a peak. And if I see 10 clients who are adolescents, 8 of them have exam anxiety. So I would like to tell all the parents that your child is constantly on the phone, not because there is something in the phone, not because the child is stupid, not because he wants कि मेरी ज़िंदगी खराब हो जाए, not because he is taking your money for granted, because he is actively or she is actively avoiding that book. Because opening that book creates immense anxiety that the teen or even young children, I've seen, I started having exam anxiety from class 2 because I just could not, my teacher asked me something, I could not say, oh, 9 9s are 81, and I just took like 3 minutes to understand it, and she's like, are you stupid? Don't you understand that? So I think that came, and then while teaching me math, my dad also, and are you fool, you don't understand borrow kaise karna hai? Those two statements stuck to me. So I started having exam anxiety super early, which I could not talk to anyone about. So I think exam anxiety is also something which is making the kid avoid, and there are a lot of signs, and I think as parents we should also start understanding कि कहीं ये तो नहीं हो रहा before making a judgment कि ओ ऐसे कहीं कोई चीज़ तो नहीं है जो हम मिस कर रहे हैं. And definitely because another example that marks are so important, and in schools also I think marks are important, which I think, do you agree?
Yeah, I agree.
How did you gain that understanding कि marks important है?
Because if you don't score well, a lot of parents are going to scold you.
Everyone's parents will not scold you. I mean, your parents will scold you if you don't score well. What will they say?
They're going to say that you're not studying because you haven't scored marks. So it shows that you did not put in the effort that you need.
And that's exactly what I'm saying. I would want to ask everyone's parents who say similar things, and again, out of lot of love and empathy for them. How do you know that your child did not study, that's why he didn't get marks? How do you know that he is not putting effort? Maybe the child is actually having problem understanding that subject. Maybe the child hates that subject. उसको नहीं पसंद है. I could not. I'm not a math person. सबसे पहले मैंने 10th में मैथ्स छोड़ के ह्यूमैनिटीज़ ली थी 11th में, क्योंकि मुझे मैथ्स नहीं पढ़ना था, क्योंकि मैं क्रिएटिव हूँ, मेरा other side of my brain is more active than the logical side, or analytical, logical, and which is fine. And I became a psychologist, right? So which is absolutely okay. What I'm now trying to say is that we've talked about what breaks the connection. Let's talk about what makes the connection, which is do one basic thing, which is from both the parent's perspective and the child's perspective. But I think the parent might have to take a lead in it, क्योंकि maybe बच्चों के पास अभी वो vocabulary नहीं है, knowledge नहीं है, और क्योंकि अगर parents सुन रहे हैं तो वो ये lead ले सकते हैं, which is the first question should not be what happened in school and what did you study. Talk about something else. Make them feel that there is a lot to life other than this, and there is a lot to you. And there is a lot to you beyond your academics that I love you for. I saw a client yesterday, and this client now has a business and is still angry with his father. Ask me why.
Why?
He told me, I have not told anyone, but I flunked 11th. And I said, but why? Why did you flunk? What happened? Did you not understand? Were you not? He said, no. मैं बहुत अच्छा स्टूडेंट था. मैं 8th, and actually it's a true anecdote, मैं 8th, 9th, 10th बहुत अच्छा पढ़ा. 9th में मैंने नोटिस किया, मैं जितनी बार पापा को दिखाता हूँ ना जाके कि मेरे इतने मार्क्स है, ही इज़ लाइक वेरी गुड बट और बेटर हो सकता था, और ही वुड लाइक ठीक है, अच्छा चलो गुड गुड करते रहो. So this kid was only getting marks to like get that appreciation from the parent. This cannot be the token economy that we live in by कि marks ला प्यार ले जा, marks ला तारीफ ले जा. ऐसे क्यों हम बच्चे तारीफ डिजर्व नहीं करते? जैसे आप तारीफ डिजर्व करते हो एज पेरेंट्स, बच्चे भी डिजर्व करते हैं. वी डोंट जस्ट अप्रिशिएट योर, लाइक किड्स डोंट अप्रिशिएट यू बिकॉज यू अर्न मनी, right? Or because you are the earning bread and butter. There is so much more to you. Similarly, there is so much more to the kid other than the curriculum, right? So I think having conversations about, like today you and me started talking, and first question I asked is, क्या पसंद है तुझे करना? What do you like doing? You said I like sports. I never asked you about your academics or whatever, so that you also know that, oh, she's interested in the whole of me, not just the academic part of me. And that's not just the part that I will, when I go out in the world, पूरी दुनिया मेरे मार्क्स ही देखेगी. जब आप स्कूल में हो तो आपको लगता है सब पूरी जहान मेरे मार्क्स ही पूछने वाला है, क्योंकि घर में देखो अगर हम वो माहौल बनाएंगे कि पूरा जहान मेरे मार्क्स ही पूछता है सिर्फ. सो 10th and 12th आर लाइक द वर्स्ट फॉर, बिकॉज सारे रिश्तेदार उठ के आ जाते हैं पूछने के लिए कि कितने मार्क्स आएंगे कितने नहीं, राइट? सो आई थिंक टॉक टू योर चाइल्ड अबाउट अ लॉट ऑफ अदर थिंग्स अदर देन जस्ट मार्क्स. सेकेंड, वॉट इज इट दैट यू लव डूइंग, राइट? और what would you like to go out, or would you want to break? Imagine a parent saying थोड़ा break ले ले, बहुत पढ़ लिया.
It would be so good.
Right? So just try this out. Like just tell your child that, do you want a break? Let's go for a walk. I'd love to go out on coffee with you and talk about anything other than academics. So there should be some times in the day where you're not talking about academics at all or marks at all. Third, if you see that your child is not performing according to you as his potential or her potential, don't come to a judgment. Ask, क्या हुआ? कोई दिक्कत है? मेरे को बता. Right? Is there something? Do you need a new tutor? समझ नहीं आ रहा, पसंद नहीं आ रहा, मज़ा नहीं आ रहा, पढ़ना है, तेरा मन है पढ़ने का, तेरे को कुछ और करना है लाइफ में, मुझे बता एंड विल चिल अबाउट इट. एज लॉन्ग एज तो कुछ तेरे को लगता है कि इसमें नहीं हो पाएगा उसमें का, बात करते हैं. सो रादर देन डायरेक्टली कमिंग टू अ जजमेंट कि हमने क्या कमी रखी है, हमने खुद को भी जज मत करो, बच्चे को भी तुरंत से जज मत करो, राइट? जस्ट टॉक अबाउट, आई थिंक, व्हाट डू यू वांट टू डू, व्हाट इज हैपनिंग, व्हाट इज लाइक, एंड इफ द चाइल्ड कन्फाइड्स इन यू इज लाइक, आई एम एंशियस अबाउट दिस थिंग, दिस scares me. If you are equipped to help the child, great. Otherwise take your child to, you know, school counselors हैं इतने सारे, वो नहीं होता, they will recommend you, you know, to someone who you can maybe see outside the school. So many things you can do. So I think this is the need of an hour, because anxiety, childhood depression, all of these things are at peak. So it is very important to keep it, you know, keep a check. How many students do you think in your class, your friends might be very anxious about exams?
Most of them.
राइट? माहौल ही खराब हो जाता है स्कूल का, मुझे लगता है एग्जाम्स के टाइम पे. घर का भी खराब हो जाता है, स्कूल का भी हो जाता है. तो वो माहौल को इतना ड्रेडफुल बनाने की जगह थोड़ा रिलैक्सिंग बनाना, आई थिंक दैट विल रियली हेल्प. एंड आई थिंक देन ऑटोमेटिकली द किड विल स्टार्ट, और लाइक यू वुड ऑल्सो वॉन्ट टू स्टार्ट, यू नो, फोकसिंग मोर ऑन अकेडमिक्स. दैट ओ, अब ये चीज़ डराती नहीं है, ये नॉर्मल चीज़ है, ये कर सकते हैं. दिस इज नॉट समथिंग ऑन विच माई अप्रूवल, लव एंड लाइफ इज डिपेंडेंट, बट दिस इज समथिंग दैट आई नीड टू डू टू गेन knowledge. So I think that path is important. That's what I would like to, I think, say about this topic.
Thank you, Anandita, for triggering the importance of strong parent-child relationship. As we delve deeper into the nuances of creativity and development, it is important to consider the challenges faced by adolescents. How do we foster creativity in adolescents, ensuring emotional and psychological well-being? To explore this crucial concept, we have with us Ms. Shruti Pandey, an expert in mental health and adolescent behavior. Ms. Shruti will share the insights on how school and parents can work together in not only supporting adolescents but also prevention of at-risk behaviors. Over to you, Ms. Shruti.
What are the various risky behaviors an adolescents can indulge in? What precautions a school can take to prevent the same?
Okay, see, when we are talking about adolescents, definitely their peer group is very important, and it is not just peer group because they are also actively indulging into different social media platforms. So sometimes the information can come from various resources. So अगर हम उसके बारे में बात करें तो सबसे पहले आता है behavioral risk जो बच्चों में होता है. So that can be related to substance misabuse. Right? It can also be related to ganging up together for a cause. So not all the cause are good. राइट. समटाइम्स वो थोड़ी लड़ाइयों में, झगड़ों में, वायलेंस में भी जा सकते हैं. सो दैट इज़ ऑल्सो वन ऑफ द रिस्की बिहेवियर बिकॉज उसके कॉन्सिक्वेंसेज होते हैं, नॉट जस्ट इन द स्कूल बट आउटसाइड इन द सोसाइटी ऑल्सो, राइट. उसके साथ में इंडल्जिंग इनटू ऑल द नेगेटिव कंटेंट or looking at different kind of content can also impact their mental health. It can be related to sexual content. It can also be related to violence and abuse. So many children are very much heightened and they're happy to watch thrillers and psychological movies, but without knowing their own mental health, if they are indulging into any content, so it can be risky for their mental health specifically, right. So one is substance misuse, other is their behavioral issues which can be related to the mental health, and there are other issues which can be related to the diet. So अगर हम अपने बेसिक डाइट में कोई भी चीज़ ओवर कंज्यूम करते हैं, विच कैन बी कॉफ़ी फॉर दैट मैटर, बिकॉज कई बार ऐसा होता है ना, तुमने भी नोटिस किया होगा, एग्जाम आ रहे हैं, सो लेट्स टेक अ ब्लैक कॉफ़ी शॉट एंड देन गिव पेपर्स. सो आई हैव सीन मैनी एडोलेसेंट्स जो बहुत ही ज़्यादा कॉफ़ी शॉट्स या टी, कॉफ़ी बहुत ज़्यादा, या शुगर इनटेक, रेड बुल एंड ऑल दैट, वो भी काफ़ी ज़्यादा यूज़ करने लग गए हैं. एंड बिकॉज ऑफ दैट there are certain misbalances, imbalances जो body में होते हैं, and the children can go into some other issues as well, right. So these are the important issues that can be look into. But अगर schools की बात करें तो school बहुत सारी चीज़ें कर सकता है. First is to prevent those things, which can be awareness related workshops, activities, talking it out, giving the platform कि मैं आपको बता पाऊँ कि मेरी दोस्त जो है ना, she is going into a lot of parties and drinking and I am also up for it. I also want to be recognized by the peer member, तो मुझे जाना पड़ेगा, नहीं तो दोस्ती टूट जाएगी. So अगर ऐसी कोई situation है, so I should have people to go to. It can be my school counselor, it can be my teachers, it can be my peer educators, trained peer educators that we were talking about. कि आप उनके पास जाके कहो कि ऐसी situation है, what to do now. So talking it out is one of the important prevention other than the workshops. But इसके साथ में interventions भी बहुत important होते हैं. Interventions comes in play जब वो चीज़ें बीच में आ जाती हैं. When I have started doing some kind of risky things and I am indulging into some kind of maybe alcohol, maybe some mental health related issues where I am ganging up with my friends and taking revenge from other group, कुछ भी हो सकता है, right, for that matter. तो वहाँ पे अगर आपके पास right interventions के लिए mental health professionals हैं, और if you have special educator जो आपको right time पे बता पाएँ, because rapport building किसके साथ कैसी है we don't know. So all the stakeholders have to be on the same platform, including parents, right, because पेरेंट्स बच्चे के लिए घर होते हैं, प्राइमरी सोर्स ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन फॉर द वर्ल्ड. सो अगर पेरेंट्स किसी चीज़ पे हाँ ना करें, आँख मिला के एक नॉड ही कर दें, तो बच्चा समझ जाता है कि क्या करना है, क्या नहीं करना है. सो बिल्डिंग अप द रिलेशनशिप विद गुड पीपल, नोइंग व्हाट इज़ हेल्दी रिलेशनशिप एंड अनहेल्दी रिलेशनशिप, फॉलोइंग द प्रोटोकॉल ऑफ रिलेशनशिप्स, दैट इज़ ऑल्सो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. कि यार दोस्त से लड़ाई होगी तो मैं किस एक्सटेंट तक जा रही हूँ उस चीज़ को ठीक करने के लिए, क्या वो मेरे लिए रिस्की तो नहीं हो गया. There can be consequences. Sometimes you don't get consequences then and there because maybe people are not aware. So हमें लगता है कि ठीक है, किसी ने डांटा नहीं, कुछ कहा नहीं, तो कर लेते हैं. But later on definitely it will come in your mental health, physical health, and you will get affected by it. So school can do a lot of things in that area.
Yes, I definitely agree with you. So thank you.
Thank you, Shruti, for an enlightening conversation on how our national education policy, CBSE and NCERT empowers the schools to guide not only adolescent risk behaviors but also focus on inclusion and other aspects. Now, we have a very crucial topic amongst us, that is artificial intelligence and education, where we say that artificial intelligence has proven to be a benefit and leveraging agent to students in their development. There we also face this controversy that has AI made students non-creative? Has it really brought down the caliber and potential of a student to express and explain themselves in this crucial world? To understand and enlighten us about what AI can do to nurture the creativity, as well as what AI has done to really lower the standards of academics with the students these days, we have with us Ms. Prableen Kaur.
the principal of our school, a visionary leader, a thought-provoking individual who not only guarantees that innovative practices are a part of the curriculum, but also makes sure that human connection is always placed above curriculum.
Will the use of AI in schools result in killing creativity?
Well, Delisha, I would say that every coin has got two sides. And same is the case with the implication of AI in the lives of today's children. It is both a boon as well as a bane. So if I say, when something is served to you in the platter, you do not actually put in any efforts to find the results, to whatever questions are put forward to you. You're not putting in any creativity, you're not doing any critical thinking. That is what is happening with the children. Just at the click of a mouse, they're getting so much of humongous amount of information, and because of which it is definitely killing their creativity. The level of creativity is definitely declining because of the introduction of AI. But as I said that a coin always has two sides, then so is the case of AI as well. With the implication of AI, as I said, that a humongous amount of information is available to the children. It results in better research done by the children, as opposed to previously where they had the limited material and they had to run from pillar to post to get information, to research on the topics. It has become easier for the children to research on the topics of their own choice. Moreover, with the advent of AI, it has given a wider exposure to the children. They get to connect with the diverse variety of people all around the world, which ultimately brings innovation in their work. So I would say that it is not AI which is killing the creativity, but it definitely depends upon us, that we decide what is right and how much is too much.
Yes. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for sharing your insights.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prableen ma'am, for those thought-provoking and contrasting insights. As we near the conclusion of today's session, it's time to turn our attention to one of the most exciting aspects of modern education: innovative learning approaches. From project-based learning to STEM, STEAM, stream and marker space, how do we cultivate an environment where inquiry, exploration and creativity are a natural byproduct? To take us to this thought-provoking and cutting-edge educational practices, we have with us once again our academic director, Ms. Sarika Rahul Chopra. Ms. Sarika will share her expertise on these innovative learning practices and give us an insight on how we as a school integrate it in our curriculum and make our students future ready. Over to you, Sarika ma'am.
So ma'am, what would you say is the difference between STEM, STEAM and stream? And how would you say we would inculcate it into our curriculum?
So first of all, Yuvika, I'll start by saying, what do you call you? You guys are Gen Z children, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. And similarly, in education, there are phases, right? There was a phase when it was a rote learning method, when maybe I was a student and we used to do blackboard and book kind of a teaching. Then came a phase, right now Mr. Manish just told you about, how computers evolved through. Now is an age when we say that we are actually integrating all subjects together. Now when I say we are integrating all subjects together, I mean we are integrating science. Now I'll elaborate this statement. First you asked me what is STEM, right? So STEM is science, technology, English and mathematics. So now these four subjects are combined together and integrated together for all you guys, all you children from grade pre-nursery to grade 12, to help you understand how they are, entangled with each other, how the interdisciplinary approach helps in teaching. Now, how does this happen? For example, when I would have studied a mathematics concept, I would just have learned the formulas, right? We would have done some exercise questions, and now we're doing implementation, that how that mathematical model is related to a scientific thing, maybe how bridges are formed, is related to technology, and how art comes into it, right? So everything is integrated. The next thing you asked is STEAM, STEAM. So that's science, technology, English, art and mathematics. Now what is that? When we talk about art, you've done projects in your tenure, right? Must have done projects. So when you do project, you have much more learning to a particular subject rather than just rote learning, reading and writing. So in STEAM, what we do here is that a science project and the technology project and the English project and the math project are done on one particular theme only, integrated, but to it a visual thing is attached to it. That's art. The art can be in visual art form, the art can be in a performing art form. So that is STEAM. Then comes the next thing, STREAM. STR. Now I'll talk about the R. The rest of them are same. So R is robotics. Now when we talk about robotics, Mr. Manish just told us, right? Now is the AI generation. So robotics help you understand how these things will be entangled or intertwined with the robotics in today's world. That is the difference between STEM, STEAM and STREAM. But when we talk about one school, a particular school is not doing all three of them. So it depends upon what kind of school you are in and how much you want to amalgamate into it. As we all know that DPS is in a progressive city like Gurgaon, and we are very progressive. You can vouch for it, right? Yeah, thank you. So because we are very progressive, so we can talk about our curriculum only, which you've seen here, that we pay much more importance to these fields. So that is why we have amalgamated STEAM technology here. When we say STEAM technology, how have you've seen Innovation Lab. So there is STEM lab, there is Innovation Lab, where children go and they try to, use that application, hands-on experience, what we say, experiential learning. These are terminologies you must have heard in newspapers, in media every day. But that is what children are doing every day. So because of which, whosoever, is scared of maybe mathematics is not much scared of mathematics now. Whosoever was scared of writing a particular skill and was interested in doing maths, just because the maths is intertwined with English, he or she is able to do it. And also you can vouch about it that we have astronomy club in the school, and children are exploring astronomy with the technology as well. Also, we are dealing with all kind of interdisciplinary approaches, and these approaches are helping our children, do projects. I will name few of them because you belong to grade 11th, so you must not be knowing what lower grades are doing. So it will be fascinating for you to know that our primary students, they made paper rocket. They've also made balloon car. Yeah. And I've just seen, they've made a windmill where, and the other day they came to my room and they had shown that motor running, and I asked them questions and they could tell us that how that motor is helping that windmill rotate and how is it all happening. So that's great to see a primary. Yeah. And the other day 6 to 8 students, Technology Fest was happening in the school only. You had seen it happening there in the Innovation Lab, and in Technology Fest, they are actually coding the thing. They are gaming it. They are making digital contents to it. And it is, I'll again add on to what Mr. Manish said, that it is not just you and me talking in a podcast here. We are just not just conversing in English language. Technology is involved here. Content is involved here, English is involved here. So this is what we are actually doing. We are amalgamating all senses here. So Yuvika, as you know, DPS is, a long legacy. It's got 200 plus schools. And these schools are known worldwide for its academic excellence. We are a DPS for sure. And as I just told you that we are a school in a very progressive city. So right from the infrastructure, which is very progressive, which is a nowadays infrastructure. We also hold on strong academics, and in that strong academics, we want the academics to be the Gen Z academics. That is why, this whole concept of having an innovation lab, having a concept of STEM lab, having a concept of robotics club, having a concept of astronomy club has come up. Because nowadays, we are looking at the skills which a child is going to use maybe another 10 years down the line. The child's going to pass from DPS, go to a university, and as Mr. Manish said, you have to be skill competent. Your academic marks, DPS focuses for sure, but we are building your skill sets kind of a thing. So that is where this STEM, STEAM, stream come into picture. That is what we are doing. I hope I've answered all your questions well.
That was very insightful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Yuvika. Thank you so much.
And with that, we have traversed a tapestry of ideas and perspectives in today's Samvaad 2.0. From the vision of our leaders to the thoughts of our experts, we have explored how schools can be the nurturers of creativity and guardians of overall development. I would like to express my deepest gratitude to the speakers for their invaluable contributions, to the audiences for their active participation. Let's carry forward the spirit of today's discussions in our everyday lives as we continue to work towards creating together a brighter, creative, and a happy future for our children. Thank you all for being here. Have a wonderful day. See you all in Samvaad 3.0.